Hey, do you have any bad habits that you want to get rid of? Well, I'm going to help you fix that problem right now by giving you an understanding of exactly what's going on, okay? So, if you're feeling burnt out or energy drained, it's probably due to some bad habits or some things that we're consuming. And yes, I'm using the same visual from the last video, but I really like it. But the title of this video is really about bad habits are evidence of a deeper rooted problem, okay? So I want to give you this example. This is a perfect human being. We're at our peak performance. We're at 100% battery life, okay? Over time, we get exposed to a bunch of outside influences, and those outside influences attach themselves to us in the form of bad habits, bad eating habits, bad smoking habits, whatever kind of habits that we're doing, too much dopamine, watching reels for 3 hours a day, whatever it is, okay? And those things then cause us weight. The weight gets heavier and heavier and heavier, and then we feel immobilized. We feel like we're gonna have a crash out or a burnout or like, I wanna die, okay? So what's happening is when we have all these bad habits, and I'm going to use the word like sin, for example, okay? So when we're doing sin or whatever that is, sin is not the problem and bad habits are not the problem, okay? A lot of times that, especially if you grew up in church or whatever, let's just say people are always saying, you know, getting drunk is a sin or something like that, okay? Sure, yes, it is, according to them, but they're focusing on the evidence of the problem. Sin or bad habits are just an evidence that there is a problem, and they want to go shame those sins or bad habits. Oh, look at him, he's doing this or that. And what the problem is not the sin or the bad habit. The sin is that we have a problem inside of us, a lack of alignment or some other issue that is making us do those things to fill the void, okay? So what's happening is I added a little graphic. So this guy's got a black hole in the middle of him, okay? When he's out of alignment, when he's out of purpose, when he's doesn't know what to do, when he has a lack of clarity, when you have that lack of clarity, that's when these bad influences can start to take hold. So let's just say when I have a lack of clarity about what I'm doing or what the problem is, and I'm not actually heading in the direction that I should head, and I'll give you this perfect example. Let's just say I'm working really, really, really hard. I'm working 6 days a week, and I'm using this example because it's me, okay? And I'm working, and I'm telling you this because this is my personal experience, okay? So I'm working all this time, and it's really unfulfilling, but I need to do it to keep cash flow, to get money invested. I'm trying to work hard while I'm young and really prioritize that time, okay? And what's happening is every single day, I'm like, dude, that whole day sucked. I need some sort of reward, okay? So I need some sort of reward. I'm going to get like a big ass ice cream, okay? I'm going to get like a concrete mixer or some sort of ice cream sundae or whatever it is, okay? So in order to reward myself for that shitty day that I just had, I had to have ice cream. And then what happened was I started getting fat, okay? And I'm like, dude, I am getting some stomach fat here. I do not like this, all right? This is disgusting to me, for me personally, because I'm like, dude, this is just evidence that something is wrong, okay? I'm not calling fat people disgusting. I definitely have empathy, and all of that good stuff. But basically, for me, I'm seeing this weight gain, this change, and wow, I've noticeably gained some weight here. And what the problem is my black hole was I was putting too much emphasis on working, okay? And so because I have this black hole and I'm not in spiritual alignment or mental or physical alignment with my higher self, you maybe want to call it, because I'm not in alignment and I'm not living the way that I should be living, I'm not making the right decisions, now I am more susceptible to bad habits. Because if you were living in the full green, you wouldn't see these bad habits like TikTok reels or whatever it is. these are trying to fill this emptiness, and this emptiness or this problem is because my mindset and my focus is shifted in the wrong area. I'm putting too much energy, my vibration, my calibration is focused towards, let's just say, grinding money, okay? So in my mind, I'm almost like I'm worshiping money, basically, is what's happening. Because you don't believe what you think, you believe what you do, okay? Your beliefs aren't what you think, your beliefs are what your actions are, okay? So I could say, oh no, I don't worship money or anything like that, but then I'm slaving my ass off, and then what's happening is there's going to be like the more I do that, the more there's going to be like a level of emptiness, and the more that emptiness happens, the more I have to fill myself with other things to compensate for how shitty I feel all the time. Okay? So, in my last video, I literally just said the way we do this is we just take a break, we just fast, we just cut off. Okay, if I'm working too much, if I'm, feeling energy loss or burnt out, I just need to step back and just literally do a system reset, almost like cut all the problems off right there. So what I'm doing is I'm fasting, and I'm dopamine detox. So basically, for lack of a better term, I'm not going to eat, or maybe I'll have one healthy small meal a day if I need. And let's just say I keep that meal at a specific time for 3 days. I get out in nature, I recalibrate. Maybe you have to reconnect spiritually with whatever religion you have, or spiritual practice. Maybe you want to do some meditation. Maybe you just need to read a book. Maybe you just need to go stimulate your mind in a healthy way. But if we're doing like marijuana, alcohol, nicotine, watching porn, even caffeine, I would say stay away from. Work is a big one, and what I'm just doing is I'm stopping everything. I'm just saying, you know what? I'm putting my whole life on hold, and I'm gonna let my body fix itself. I'm gonna let my cells regenerate. I'm gonna go to a state of rest. I'm not gonna stimulate my mind. I'm gonna let my mind figure out what it's stimulated from. And the more bored I am, I'm going to get agitated. I'm going to have to fight through that. If I need to lock my phone in a cabinet with a timed release for 72 hours, if I don't have discipline, I would recommend doing that. I do have discipline with the phone. I'm not really on it. But what I need to do is really just step away from everything, pull my energy back from everything, and just sit and literally do nothing. I want you just to be bored. I want you to literally do absolutely nothing except just you and God, and you and yourself if you're an atheist. Just do absolutely nothing, okay? And get out in nature. Just go sit by a river for 12 hours and just literally do nothing, okay? I want you to be as bored as possible. I want you to get to the most bored state as you possibly can. I want you to limit stimulation. I need no stimulation from food, no stimulation from coffee or nicotine or anything like that. We just need to sit down and do absolutely nothing. This is the cure to this problem. We fix the problem of doing too much by doing nothing. And our body and our spirit will just figure itself out. And when we don't have all these stimulations, see, here's what happens. People need coffee to go to work every day, and myself included. Actually, I really got into a bad habit of that after I was no caffeine for 4 months. But I do like the experience of coffee and stuff like that. Actually, I wanted to share this with you guys. I just started, now this is half decaf, half regular coffee. I literally, in between videos, I just started brewing this. I did accidentally fumble the bag, and unfortunately, I overground some of the decaf beans, so it's going to be a little cloudy at the bottom, but I literally just started this. And basically what I'm doing is I like to brew my own cold brew coffee. It's just a fun thing for me. And it's just a good experience that it's something I find intriguing. If you saw one of my last videos, we got to have something that we just enjoy. So this is just a hobby of mine that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to learn how to froth and make like a sweet vanilla cream and just have that experience. But I'm just enjoying the experience of this, okay? So when we really step back from everything in life, we find what truly matters to us. Maybe I need to journal. Maybe I need to just write down what I really value in life, okay? I need to just step back and just do a reset. What do I really value in life? I'm going to get all these distractions out. And anyways, back to my point about caffeine, what I wanted to share with you guys is if I need caffeine to go to work every day, what I'm saying is this job sucks. I don't want to do it. I'm so unhappy that I need to get high. I need to get high on caffeine in order to bear how shitty my life is, okay? That's just evidence that there is a black hole inside of you that you got to fix. And you fix that by cutting off everything, doing a full fast, full system reset, dopamine detox, okay? So what's happening is the more we make the decision to, and you're guided by your dreams and your spirit, basically is how I would describe that. The more we stimulate ourselves, the less clarity we have to see our dreams and what we want to do, okay? The more I try to pursue money, the less I want to do knowledgeable YouTube video, okay? Because it's a distraction. The more I use nicotine, the less I want to make YouTube videos. The more I have caffeine, the less I want to do YouTube videos, okay? So what's happening is I'm muddying and I'm basically getting all these other influences in me, and now I'm allowing myself to have seeds of doubt and things like that. And success requires laser focus on one task, okay? And in order to do that, we need to have some clarity, and we get clarity from fasting and dopamine detox, okay? If you have to lay in your bed for 3 days straight and just do that, your mind will fix itself. It's not fun. It's probably significantly harder to lay in your bed for 3 days straight than you think it is, all right? We need to just do a full reset. Maybe you got to do some push-ups or whatever it is. We got to do a full system reset, okay? So this is my personal experience. This is not like, oh, hey, I learned, all this stuff, and now I'm going to share. This is my personal experience. That's why I can talk with no script, and I can talk with conviction, because this is what I've actually done and what I'm doing, okay? So what is the problem? The problem is I'm not in alignment with what my dreams are. Our dreams guide us. Hey, man, I really want to do this. But guess what? Oh, your friends are like, hey, come on over and have a beer. Oh, hey, dude, you on video games tonight? And unfortunately, all of those negative influences, they could be your best friends, but unfortunately, they are preventing you from reaching peak happiness, okay? And once you reach peak happiness, then you can help them do it too, okay? But you gotta cut yourself off, okay? If you think about all the famous prophets and stuff like that, I definitely wouldn't recommend 40 days, but there must have been some reason why Jesus needed to fast for that long. There must have been some sort of reason. In the Old Testament, for some reason, this guy needed to fast for 21 days in order to get clarity or something. I don't know if it was Elijah or whatever. They claim that fasting allowed an angel to fight a spiritual battle or something like that. I don't know. I can't really explain all that to you. I'm not going to get into that. But what I'm telling you is, from a biological standpoint, when we fast and we reset our system, we receive clarity. And you know what? When I fast and I sit there and I make myself bored and I force myself not to have sugar, what happens is, after the end of those couple days that I do that, I wake up and I'm like, dude, you know what? I actually don't need those things. I actually don't need them. And what happens is, we go through the same cycle again. Now we're at 100%. We go out, we're on fire for the world. We go that, and slowly, we get distracted again. This is the cycle. we get more things, get more weight, the weight gets heavier, then we got to fast again. Okay, that's the reason we're fasting. It's not like because God is going to make, like some religious places are like, you better fast because God wants you to do it. It's sure, God wants you to do it because he wants you to be at your peak performance. And fasting is cleaning out your system so we can get back to 100% happiness. And then the process just continuously cycles. So we're going to do this. And I am like, I could be the perfect human and I could still, unfortunately, fall into this cycle. And I think this is something, at least at this point, that I'm going to go through this cycle for the rest of my life. And that maybe I'll get better at it. Maybe I have to fast less often. But this is just, it's not a one and done thing. The world is always out there. There's going to be negative things coming out. There's going to be distractions. There are going to be areas that really entice us in life, and we just got to keep hitting the reset button. Okay, we have the opportunity to hit the reset button. Okay, and the last thing I would tell you is if you're really struggling with your bills, or whatever, what if you just tried, like, even though you need the money, what if you just tried and just said, you know what, I need the money, but I'm going to force myself to take a few days off this week and just sit and relax and do nothing and recalibrate. You can always work more overtime next week. You can always do it next week. You can always do it 2 weeks from now, but if you're really feeling energy drain and things like that, it's because you gotta fast. It's because we've now had too many bad habits and attachments due to a lack of clarity and a lack of alignment. Okay, what's happening is when we have this black hole inside of us, what we're saying is, no, I don't want my dreams. I don't want to do what the best life path for me is. I want to just get high and watch Netflix. I don't want to have peak performance. I don't want to enjoy my life. I want to be overstimulated and life sucks. Just so I can fit in or whatever it is, okay? So when we're out of alignment, when we don't know why we're doing something, when we don't know what direction we want to head, surely those other areas are going to creep in and get a hold of us, okay? I'll share a personal experience with me. You know what? I'm a man. I like attractive women, okay? Now, sometimes when I'm not clear on what I'm doing, it's easy to be like, damn, she's bad. I need to go talk to her, okay? And even though deep down I know that that is a distraction, or that type of female is a distraction, and that's not getting me in the direction I need to go, okay? So what are your distractions? Put them in the comments. How can we overcome this? We're going to overcome it by fasting. Have a wonderful day, guys. Try and make some cold brew coffee for fun.